Hey, welcome back to another episode review for Sistas Season 9, Episode 8 on my Soul and Screen channel. This is going to be a review of the episode. If you watched my prediction episode, you know I was wrong. I was off. I kind of mentioned that I didn't think Fatima was going to say anything about the baby, but apparently she did. And with that being said, I'm going to just go ahead and start with Zach and Fatima, period. Their whole interaction was very interesting and to me was the best part of the episode. So let's get into it. So first, the Zach, Fatima coming downstairs and talking to Zach and just him just completely checked out. I'm glad she called him on it and was just like, you're not even listening and everything like that because, nobody's saying that Zach has to act normal. There's people like I see on the comments kind of saying like everybody's wrong for expecting Zach and Karen to act normal and their baby just passed away and all this kind of stuff. But here's the thing. Nobody's saying that they need to act normal. What people are expecting is that you have to figure out a way to still communicate and live with the people that you're in love with, or in his case, living with and in love with, so that they know that you still around, that you didn't completely check out, So I don't think she's wanting anything like out of pocket. She just wants him to talk. Now, true enough, everybody grieves differently, and so maybe trying to force him isn't the way, but I don't really see her trying to force him. I just think she's really just trying to get some type of interaction. So her calling him out on that and was really, I'm glad she did it. But then even her talking to him and telling him that she made him some food and trying to bring the tacos over for him so that they can chill out and she's just trying to relax him in different ways. I mean, she cooked him some food. She pregnant. She came home from a full day's work, trying to talk to him. She cooked him a dinner and he didn't even want none. And I understand that you don't got much of an appetite, but you could have took a bite, Zach, like real talk, like just, you don't, effort. Nobody's saying you gotta wolf down all six, because I think it was like six on that plate. But take a bite, like show some type of interest in that you are hearing me, that I'm still here, or something outside of just shunning me. And so I get where Fatima's feeling that. And then to not only that, then you push me away when I trying to massage you, and then the one thing that he never turns down is sex. And she just trying to get some connection with him. If this will help you feel better, then great. But him even turning her down in that, so my thoughts on that is you have to be careful, because while everybody needs to allow Zach and Karen the time to grieve, they're not the only ones going through this. Fatima also is there, and Zach has to figure out how to function for them as well. And doing these little things are kind of shutting her down. They're in a way, they are rejection, different signs of rejection. Hey babe, I want to talk to you. I don't feel like talking. Oh, I made you something to eat. I don't want nothing to eat. Oh, let me rub your back and give you a massage. I don't want you touching me. Like, you know what I mean? Those are all different instances of him rejecting her in a different way. And how long do you expect someone to take the rejection, especially from someone that they love? So I think that's something that while a lot of people are coming for Fatima for like trying to rush him and things like that, she's just looking for some type of engagement, that you are trying. I need to see the effort that you are making and putting forth to keep us connected instead of pushing me away, which is typically what you do. I mean, every time he has an emotional encounter or situation, he goes inside of himself instead of talking to her, and then something happens and it blows up, and it's then he beg and come back and all this kind of stuff, instead of just talking it through with her from the beginning. So I think that's definitely something that Zach and others who are watching, keep that in mind, women can feel rejected as well. You know what I mean? Like, men try to bring that up to them, but women can feel rejected. It's just in different ways. And every movement that she did, every action of love that she tried to put forth to show him that she's there too, and she's trying to give him his space, but she's there, she misses him, he rejected, he pushed her away. So that's something to keep in mind. Then to move to the midwife, Heaven, that was like so funny at the same time, but I get both sides of this as well. So Heaven coming in, so picture this, like Zach hasn't been having much, conversation with Fatima. He's not talking to her really, very limited. And then the first thing that you do is you go get a midwife. So you're not talking to me, but you're willing to make a decision about my body instead of talking to me, because there's people all in, on both sides of this. So first of all, there are people who are coming at Fatima like, why she mad and things like that. She's mad because this is what she's talking about. Talk to me. Like, if he would have just been like, hey, babe, I want us to talk to a midwife after everything that's happened. I'm scared. I just want to talk. Let's just talk to her, see what she got to say. I don't think Fatima would have had a problem with that. But because it would be him communicating, then she could tell him, that's good, babe, I understand what you're saying. I hear you. I understand you guys just went through this horrible trauma, and I'm willing to listen. I just don't want that for myself. And she could be able to talk to him. And then guess what? A conversation happens, and we agree to disagree, or we come to some agreement. But we've talked it out. Everybody has had their voice be heard. And the way that he did this, he just went about it wrong. So her sitting there and still appeasing to at least listen to what the midwife had to say, I thought that was really cool and good that she did that. At least listen and hear him out, and then did like what she did once she left, the midwife left, had the conversation with Zach to explain, I'm not saying that you don't have any say-so about this, but this is my body. I'm the one that's carrying the child. I'm the one that has to do it. So in this respect of this part of the pregnancy, I do get to make the call, because you don't have to push the baby out of you. You don't have to endure the pain. Like that's something that she should be able to make the call on, and that's something he's going to have to understand. But she at least gave him the opportunity to let the midwife say what he got to say, but then to even try to tell, we're going to talk about it some more later, when she's already told you. So this is going to be a very interesting storyline. I'm going to be really honest. This was probably one of the storylines of the whole episode. Not probably, it was the best storyline of the whole episode, because it's showing some different dimensions that the storyline can go into, and certain relational issues that Zach and Fatima are going to have to navigate as they go through and navigate his grief, her dealing with him being, grieving, his grieving process, and then them coming into her pregnancy and experiencing different things. So this is some good storylines, even for coming up episodes, future episodes. Now, him coming downstairs and hearing her talk to Danny. Here's the part that everybody is like, oh my goodness, like, she foul. I don't think so. I believe that she was having a private conversation with the friend that she trusted. The friend was telling her, stop suppressing and holding in all this stuff and all this, this stuff you've been dealing with so much with Zach, and everybody is focused on Zach and Karen because this is their loss, but you are in this too. She's the only one who has said that. With that being said, that created a space for Fatima to tell her that there was some relief. She didn't say she was happy. She didn't say she was glad. She didn't say she was over there doing like cartwheels at the baby, that the baby that passed away was Zach. She didn't say any of that. She says there's relief. relief. When you look at the definition of being relieved, it literally says not having distress. So, or anxiety, I believe it even says having anxiety. So what she was saying is that there's a part of her that was relieved that the baby that didn't make it was Zach's. Why would you guys think that was wrong? She's voicing what she feels, which after everything that Karen put her through for the past 8-9 months of her entire pregnancy, who wouldn't have a level of relief that I don't have to endure that drama that was going to come with this baby? The stress and the anxiety that she was going to put me through during the early parts and during my pregnancy, during our life. Why? Because that's who Karen is. So I don't understand why people are being mad or kind of upset at Fatima for saying something that is an absolute truth, and most people would agree. Like, the fact that I don't have to live with this, there's some relief in that. She didn't wish that the baby passed away. She didn't say I was glad. She didn't say any of that. All she's saying is because of this drama that was going to be attached with this child, that was going to come from the mom who had been stressing me out and causing me and my fiance problems from day one. I don't have to stress about that anymore. That's what she's talking about. That's what she's doing now. Everybody is throwing it out of proportion because you guys want to make it seem like she's talking about the baby. And indirectly she is, but she is really talking about the drama that comes with it. Like, that's all. It wasn't the baby. She was championing for Karen. She walked through that hospital like in heels, pregnant herself at the beginning of her pregnancy, which is dangerous for her. And she was just walking all through there trying to get people to help Karen, to get people to help her so she can be okay, so she can deliver these babies. So to say that she, to get mad at her because, like, as if she wanted the baby to die, come on, like, give me a break. That is not what she meant. She's talking about what was going to come with the child. I'm relieved I don't have to deal with the drama of Karen, trying to compare what Zach is doing for her child versus our child. I don't have to worry about her trying to pop up because now that she thinks that now that this child is here, she feels like she can come to our house at any point, any time without calling and causing drama for our family. And I'm getting ready to have a child. We already have one child here that she couldn't care anything about. She knocking on the door all hard in season 7. Like, she don't care about anybody but her and hers. So Fatima may not have articulated it the way that most people wanted to, but if you know her character, she's not talking about that baby. She's talking about the stress and the drama that was going to come as a result of come with the baby from Karen, period, point blank. And so I'm going to leave it there. I know people ain't going to appreciate it, but that's what I believe that she meant by it. I also don't think there's anything wrong with people being able to express what they feel, regardless if you like it or not. She wasn't talking to a whole bunch of people. She was having a private conversation with someone who she considers to be a friend about her relationship, someone who knew that when she said this, she wasn't going to be saying it in a malicious way. So if Danny, who has been friends with Karen since college, isn't offended, why is everybody else getting offended? Because I don't believe she's going to be offended. Why? Because she knows Fatima has been there helping all of them at this point. She has been there for every single last one of them. So for Zach to be in his feelings about this again is partially because of the grief, because he knows Fatima and he knows her heart, and he knows that she don't mean that she wish his baby was dead, that she glad his baby was dead or anything like that. She's just truly talking about the situation. That situation was never going to be better. It was always going to be a mess. And in all honesty, I think it still is. I think Karen just dying it down some. As soon as she come to herself, she going to be right back on Zach somehow, some way, because that's who she wants. And so she don't want Aaron. I know she over there trying to, again, make herself be with Aaron. I'm going to try to make it work. She tried to do that before. You cannot make yourself like someone you don't like. And that's just it. Hear me when I say it. You can't do it. Don't try to force yourself to do it. It won't work. If you don't like them, you're going to deal with them and put up with the person for a little while. And that's later on, somewhere down the line, they're going to start agitating you, irritating you, and you're going to be heated because you don't really want this person. And it's all really because you tried to force something that's not there. So don't do it. Just don't do it. Anyway, what else? Andy. So that was it with the Zach and Fatima situation. The Andy, I don't know what to say about her. I am starting not to really like Andy because, first of all, I didn't like how she, dropped her friend, your best friend from college, just had 2 kids. One of them didn't make it. And true enough, you over there trying to make a date. That's what it sounded originally in the last episode. You were making this date to go and talk to this doctor friend. And you leaving your friend who just got out the hospital, the baby just passed and needs your help, and you get there and you leave. You drop some flowers off and you leave, and then you get to the date, and now you using this man. You acting like you're interested in him, but it's really just to get him to help you sue this doctor. Now, I am not mad about the whole fact that you was championing for your friend and you want to sue this man for what he did to Karen and her baby and Zach. I'm not mad at that. I think that's great and it's commendable. The way that she's going about it, out of line. It's really out of pocket. Andy uses everybody who shows some genuine like towards her. And she's just so jacked to them. But Gary, she over there doing any and everything again. Once again, we ain't on this relationship yet when we start talking about the effects of a soul tie. But we will cover Andy and Gary's relationship too. But so I say that to say, look what she did to Robin. She met Robin. Robin flew from a whole nother country to get to know her and try to get to, have some type of interaction and relationship with her, and to the point where he actually really wanted to be with her. And what did she do? Oh, can you help me get Zach and Fatima out of jail? Oh, can you help me get Sabrina out? And then she still was dogging him even after he helped get Sabrina out, talking about, oh, once you do me wrong, I'm done. Girl, shall we count the ways with Gary? Seriously. That in itself. So you jacking somebody who really likes you and using him to your benefit. You knew he liked you, and so you used him for what he could do for you instead of actually genuinely being interested in this man and trying to move forward with this man who probably would have been good for her. Now here we go. Here she goes doing it again with this doctor. He's asking really good questions and seems to be a solid dude, and here you go trying to mess up the whole thing because you want to use him to sue the doctor, and at the expense of his career. He literally was telling you that he can get in trouble and this and all this kind of stuff, and you still pushing, but you over there trying to hold on to your job and tripping. And I am not liking Andy in these last few seasons. The kind of friend that she's showing to be, and even with her, the way that she was tripping with Fatima last week episode, looking at her work all shady and she don't know what she doing, when you just finally starting to pay attention to work. Who you think been holding it down since you've been in and out of the, getting kicked out for the second time, or some kind of a leave for the second time because you keep getting in trouble with the law? Who you think was holding all your stuff down? Fatima. And now you over there she can't read a contract? Are you serious? So, Andy, she needs to go somewhere and sit down somewhere. So I'm so over her. Danny, poor girl, like just whole thing with Tony, she just gonna have to ride it out for a minute, because it is, when you've worked forever, you just want a break. He got time to take a break. He don't seem to be worried about it. So she's just gonna have to write this out with him for a while. But I do kind of like a little bit how that storyline is going. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens with that. But and then the Sabrina stuff, I'm gonna be really honest. Like I said, I am not interested in the Sabrina storyline at all. Like, if that's what she want to do, cool. But I honestly hope they don't spend too much time on that storyline during the next couple of episodes, or as we go further into the season, because it's just, to me, not interesting at all. Same with the Maurice and Paige friendship. I know they need to fill in sometimes, but that friendship that they trying to push on everybody, I'm good. Y'all don't need to spend minutes trying to give us that scene. That's just my opinion. But so anyway, I think the best part of the episode, like I said, was definitely the Zach and Fatima situation, and how they are navigating grief and pregnancy and all that kind of things. I think that's going to be a very good, because Zach is at this point like projecting his fears onto Fatima, and at the same time not talking to her, and she is like, she's not afraid, you know what I mean? Like, he's scared. He just had a traumatic situation, and it's warranted, but she doesn't have those same fears, and so she wants to be happy and enjoy it and things like that, and he's gonna have to figure out how to be a part of it. How are you going to participate? Nobody's saying that you have to be normal and, like I said, over here doing cartwheels and stuff. But he said at the beginning of the, that he wanted just to be there and enjoy her and the baby. So enjoy her and the baby, but don't be, so try to come out of this. Try to come out of this grief, and not, no one's rushing him or anything, but try to come out of the grief and participate and look forward to the joy of what's going to happen with this pregnancy, instead of thinking that it's going to turn out like Karen's pregnancy. And I know that may be easier said than done, but that's the reason why I think this is going to be a really good storyline for Zach and Fatima. And it even looks like he's going to start tripping out with her and getting jealous again, and Zach, cut it out. Like, based off the previews, them sending her some stuff, you know what I mean? And then I think we read in a synopsis on a couple of episodes that he was going to try to, get jealous or something. Boy, like, every man that talked to Fatima, she tells him she got a whole fiance. She good. She is loyal to Zach, and he should know that by now. And Zach, she got your whole baby in her. She good. She is not trying to go with none of these other dudes right now. She is trying to get you to back to where y'all was, so that you guys can enjoy this pregnancy and this baby. So pretty decent episode, but definitely the winning factor was the Zach and Fatima storyline. So looking forward to next week's episode, and I'll do a prediction on that one as well. So thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this, a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this review insight on Soul and Screen. Bye.